it shall be unlawful to threaten, harass, use a phone to do any of these things.
Okay.
Then you go to paragraph B. The mere use of rude, lewd, or profane language is prima facie evidence of intent to threaten, harass, annoy, or offend. So you meet all of the elements just by using the F word in a text.
Really?
That's what the law states.
I'm gonna text my lawyer, F you right now. What do you think? What do you think? I'll do it right now in front of you. I'm gonna text my lawyer, F you.
Lieutenant, I'm not doing anything, am I?
Come on. Here. There's my lawyer. Come on. I'm gonna text him, F you.
I just came out to say hello to the lieutenant.
All right. Well, you have a good one, Mr. Bennett. A few days after hearing Officer Gordon Bennett tried to swat me for not wearing a mask in my courtroom, I was at the courthouse chatting with a deputy and a lieutenant when Mr. Bennett came out. A link to the swatting video is in the description if you missed it. To add some context to our conversation, the day after the hearing that he kicked me out of for not wearing a muzzle, the parties in the hearing reached out to me and told me that Bennett informed them that simply cussing in a text message is enough to be convicted of a crime and sentenced to up to a year in jail. Hey,
Mr. Freeman?
Mr. Bennett, how are you?
I'm doing good, Lieutenant.
How we doing?
Not bad. Did you listen to the audio of that hearing?
No, they refused to give it to me.
I made sure it was available for you.
Okay. Can I get a link or something then? So someone else came in and requested it as well. Someone who was a party, because they're playing open records games with me. I've actually got my lawyer on the way out right now to...
They burned it.
Okay, to
I
it.
made sure
You know
everything
what?
was there that was on the record even.
I think it was for somebody else then.
No, it had your email attached.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and they burned it on a CD?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Check my emails. I haven't gotten anything from them except...
That was a physical CD.
Okay.
So, it is what it is.
All right.
I mean, in the courtroom, I gotta obey the rules like everybody.
So when are we getting rid of this mask mandate? I'm sure that you and I probably agree on some things there, yeah?
That is truly up to the boss lady, the Chief Justice.
What do we need to do, Bennett? We don't have to work against each other. We can work together.
Well, there was one problem that I had, though.
My
That
attitude?
was the really nasty, threatening phone calls that I've been getting.
Oh, okay. Not from me.
From folks that saw your video.
I haven't even published the video yet. I've got the body cam. I've got everything. I haven't published anything yet. I told the
There's
story.
one on green screen.
Oh, okay,
and
yeah.
There's one on the other one, and I started getting some really nasty phone calls
Okay.
saying, "Why don't you come out and take me on, you cocksucker?" I mean, I am a judicial officer. I run a tight courtroom. That's it. But the hearing was recorded. Everything that was on the record was dumped onto the CD.
Okay.
Everything is available.
Video and audio?
No video.
Oh, okay. What are the cameras in there for?
The cameras are in there so that people can monitor in case something happens.
Oh, okay. So they're not recording though, they're just...
The courtroom ones?
Yeah.
Not normally.
Okay. They weren't on that day?
The parking lot ones and some of the other ones, it's above my pay grade.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right.
All I know is that...
Well, I certainly wouldn't condone threats, but I think you can see how people are really getting sick and tired of some things.
I can appreciate that. But I didn't threaten any arrests. I didn't call them up to request anything. I just asked you to leave my courtroom. And if not...
Well, I was told by quite a few people back there that you had demanded that they arrest me and bring me back into the courtroom for a contempt hearing.
Then you were told very wrong.
Okay, that's
I
inaccurate?
don't do things like that.
Okay.
Ever. Lieutenant will verify.
No, I agree.
So you didn't ask for them to arrest
No,
me
sir.
or bring me back for contempt
I didn't.
hearing?
No. But
Okay.
as you can see on the things, you ain't supposed to be recording in there either. And when you opened the door, it showed your camera through there. That was definitely not only a violation of rules, but that was a thumb in your nose at me.
Are, they,
It was.
are you saying I taunted you a little bit?
Are you saying you didn't?
Are you easily taunted?
No. Ask Lieutenant.
Are you easily provoked?
I am not easily provoked.
Okay.
I am a very patient man. I take constitutional rights extremely seriously.
Okay.
In fact, I just finished reading the U.S. versus Rahimi, brand new case out of the Fifth Circuit regarding constitutional rights and domestic violence restrictions. And no, I didn't say that I was going to arrest 2 kids for cussing. I said, here is the law. I don't know where we got so impolite these days, but it's on the hearing. You can read it.
So are you saying it is illegal to cuss in messages back and forth, or
30-12-20.
New Mexico?
No,
Is it
30-20-12. New Mexico statute's annotated.
is it disorderly conduct by any chance?
No.
Okay.
Use
Here, I'll look it up.
telephone to threaten, harass, annoy, or offend.
Okay.
It shall be unlawful to threaten, harass, use a phone to do any of these things.
Okay.
Then you go to paragraph B. The mere use of rude, lewd, or profane language is prima facie evidence of intent to threaten, harass, annoy, or offend. So you meet all of the elements just by using the F word in a text.
Clearly, he read the 1967 statute, but he said a moment ago that he takes constitutional rights very seriously. If that were actually the case, then he would recognize a piece of legislation that blatantly violates constitutional rights the way that this does. If using the F word in a text message is a crime, then most of the population is going to jail. I would love to fight this statute in the circuit court, so I tried to get him to witness me saying the F word in a text message so that I could be charged and start fighting the constitutionality of this legislation. He refused to watch me commit the alleged crime of using the F word in a text message. Really?
That's what the law states.
I'm going to text my lawyer, fuck you, right now. What do you think? What do you think? I'll do it right now in front of you. I'm going to text my lawyer, fuck
Lieutenant, I'm not doing anything, am I?
you. Come on. Here. There's my lawyer. Come on. I'm going to text him, fuck you.
I just came out to say hello to the lieutenant.
All right. Well, you have a good one, Mr. Bennett. Here's the actual recording from the court hearing where Mr. Bennett told everyone that it's illegal to cuss in text messages. He reads the unconstitutional legislation, specifically Part B, and then begins reading their text messages. Please don't be mistaken, I am not arguing that legislation saying that it's illegal to terrify, intimidate, threaten, or harass is unconstitutional. I'm simply arguing that Part B, the part that Gordon Bennett is focusing on, is blatantly unconstitutional as it claims that using a cuss word alone constitutes threatening or harassing someone. Now, someone who truly takes constitutional rights seriously, as he claimed, wouldn't have to wait for another court to rule that Part B is unconstitutional. He would be able to make that determination for himself.
There's a statute both you need to be aware of. It's 30-20-12. It's in the criminal code. Statute is listed as use of a telephone to harass, annoy, or offend. This states it shall be unlawful for any person with intent to terrify, intimidate, threaten, harass, annoy, or offend, telephone another, and use any obscene, lewd, or profane language, or suggest any lewd, criminal, or lascivious act, or threaten to inflict injury or physical harm to the person or property of any person. It shall also be unlawful for any person to attempt by telephone to extort money or other thing of value from any other person, or to otherwise disturb by repeated anonymous telephone calls, the peace, quiet, or right of privacy of any other person at the place where the telephone call or calls were received, or maliciously make a telephone call, whether or not conversation ensues with the attempt to annoy or disturb another, or to disrupt the telecommunications of another. Paragraph B is the part that I want both of you to listen to. I mean both of you. The use of obscene, lewd, or profane language, or the making of a threat or statement as set forth in subsection A, shall be prima facie evidence of intent to terrify, intimidate, threaten, harass, annoy, or offend. Ms. DeLay, you're just letting all this bullshit offend you. It's funny how you tell me, wait, these are his. Mr. Tabor, you're the one who said you're just letting all this bullshit offend you, and that You tell me how to grow up all the fucking time. You can't grow up yourself. You still act like a fucking child. Does that qualify for that statute I just read? Don't answer. Fine, let me post rude shit. Talking about you, let's see if it hurts you. I don't know how it happened in our society. Maybe it's because of TV, I don't know. Using language like that in the text, you put it in writing, it stays forever. That's illegal. Both of you can be charged with misdemeanor. This is all the evidence they need to convict both of you. Penalty up to 364 days in jail and up to a $1,000 fine.
In conclusion of this episode, I'd like to explain two more things. First, I strongly support everyone's right to be armed and everyone's right to self-defense anywhere at any time. The New Mexico courts, however, don't share this belief and have made their own rules that in courts only law enforcement officers are allowed the right to be armed. I personally strongly support Gordon Bennett's right to carry a firearm, despite what the government says about it. I do, however, find it strange that he's chosen to violate the rule banning guns in court, as he should, but he tries to enforce the arbitrary mask rule. And finally, Gordon Bennett is a hearing officer, and a number of people in the last video asked what a hearing officer is. They are not a judge, they're not even a magistrate. They are simply a court employee that the elected judge uses to avoid doing their job at the cost of the taxpayers. Shannon Murdoch is the elected judge, but in order to avoid conducting hearings herself as the people elected her to do, she appointed Gordon Bennett to hear her cases. He then writes an opinion of how the judge should make a ruling, and the judge makes a ruling based off of his opinion. This isn't unique to the 7th District either. This is how almost every court across the USA works. So you didn't ask for them to arrest me
sir.
or bring me back for contempt
I didn't.
hearing?
No.
Uh-huh.
I would appreciate identification so I can set him in front of the district court judge for a contempt hearing.
Yeah, we'll do what we can. Yeah. Huh?
Do you want to know who he is?
Who?
He goes by James Freeman.
Oh, we know James.
Yeah,
Okay.
there it is.